11th question, there was a chloride of M. So that chloride was completely dissolved in measured mass was 0.772 grams of chloride of M was completely dissolved in water, and an excess amount of silver nitrate solution was added. So when the chloride of M is dissolved in water, what happens? Aqueous chloride ions were formed. Then an excess amount of silver nitrate solution was added. Then what happens? These chloride ions react with silver nitrate to form silver chloride precipitate. So mass of that precipitate was given. It is 2.153 grams. Therefore, first we can calculate the number of moles of silver chloride precipitated. Number of moles of silver chloride precipitated. How to calculate that one? Mass is given, so we can use mass divided by molar mass formula to calculate number of moles. So 2.153 grams over molar mass of silver chloride. Silver 108, chlorine 35.5, that means molar mass of silver chloride is 143.5 grams per mole. So if you can remember, the mass of 0.015 moles of silver chloride was 2.1525 grams. So it is almost 2.153 grams. Therefore, we can deduce number of moles of silver chloride precipitated is 0.015 moles according to the previous calculation. Then using this balanced chemical equation, we can calculate number of moles of chloride ions in the solution. You can calculate number of moles of chloride ions in the solution. So it is mole ratio is 1 to 1, therefore it should be 0.015 moles. So these chloride ions were formed by the chloride of M. So let's take chloride of M as MCl. So that is the first answer given. So we can calculate number of moles of MCl. So mass of chloride of M is 0.772 grams. 0.772 grams over molar mass of MCl. M 48, chlorine 35.5. That means when we add those two, it will be 83.5 grams per mole. So if we take 83.5 as 100, this is 0.00772, but this is less than 100, therefore the answer is greater than this value. Then we can deduce number of moles of chloride ions produced. When we consider 1 mole of MCl, there is 1 mole of chloride ions. Therefore, number of moles of chloride ions produced by MCl is approximately little bit greater than 0.00772 moles. But number of moles of chloride ions in the solution was 0.015 moles. So these two values are not equal. Therefore, the chloride of M cannot be MCl. Then we can test other formulas. Let the chloride of M to be MCl2. Then we can calculate number of moles of MCl2, 0.772 grams over M48, chlorine 35.5, 2 times 35.5, 71 plus 48. That means 119 grams per mole. Then we can calculate number of moles of chloride ions produced by MCl2. So what about this value? Let's take this as 120, then 0.72 divided by 120. So what is the answer? 0.006 moles. So we have taken 0.772 as 0.72. That means the actual value will be little bit greater than this value. So when we consider MCl2, 1 mole of MCl2 contains 2 moles of chloride ions. That means twice of this. That means little bit greater than 0.012 moles. But actual number of moles of chloride ions were 0.015 moles. So there is a mismatch. So the formula of the chloride of M cannot be MCl2. Then let's take formula of the chloride of M to be MCl3. Then we can calculate number of moles of MCl3. It is 0.772 grams over molar mass of MCl3. So 35.5 times 3, 106.5. Then M48, which means molar mass is 154.5 grams per mole. So what is the answer? We can move one decimal place to right. Then this is 7.72 over 1545. So 0, 77, 0, 772, 0, 7720. So approximately 5. 5 times 1545 is 7500 plus 45 times 5. 45 times 5 means 225. So this is 7725, approximately 7720. So we can take number of moles of MCl3 as 0.005 moles. From that we can calculate number of moles of chloride ions. Number of moles of chloride ions formed by MCl3. So it's clear that when we consider 1 mole of MCl3, there are 3 moles of chloride ions, which means 0.005 moles times 3, 0.015 moles. That means formula of the chloride of M is MCl3. Therefore, the correct answer for this question is the third one. Third one is the correct answer. We don't need to bother about fourth and fifth answers as we found the correct answer. And there is another thing. If you do the calculation like this, it will take a longer time. So I will explain a shortcut. So first you can take the formula, then number of moles of the chloride, then number of moles of chloride ions produced. So you can do the calculation like a table. You don't need to write the statements. You can do the calculation like a table. Then you can get the answer within a smaller amount of time. So that's how you should get the answer for this question. If you want to boost your chemistry marks, you can join our online paper discussion class. WhatsApp now to join. Don't wait. To get this question paper free of charge, WhatsApp now to 07171911626.